Selamlar arkadaşlar, hepiniz hoş geldiniz. Ben Serdar. Bugün sizlerle Stanley Parable adını hala daha söyleyemiyorum. İşte Stanley'de kaldığımız yerden devam ediyoruz. Dışarı çıktık, geri içeri döndük. Bu nasıl bir şey ya? Demek ki biz kendi şeylerimizi yapacak. Kapat kapıyı da. Gel bakalım buraya. İzle şimdi sana ne yapacağım. Dediğin yerden gel. Ben sağdan gireceğim. Ben sağdan gireceğim. Bana. Al, girdim buradan.
Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Tamam, soldan girelim.
Detour through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door and got back on track.
Ben buna gideceğim. Aşağı ineceğim ben. Bana ne? Hadi bakayım.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go from here it's left. Oh no, it's to the right. My mistake.
Hayır, ben sola gideceğim ya. Ya sola gideceğim ben. Açılmıyor ki kapıdan, aslında sattım benim kapısı.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Hadi.
Let's see, we went down...
Ver bunu yolu.
Down, left, right... Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Hayır, burada. Açılmıyor ki kapıda. Evet. Buradan. Tamam, gidelim. Sen bizi yine buraya getirdin.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Nasıl ya? Ya sal beni ya. Bana ne?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Ben istediğim yerden gideceğim. Kapıları da kapatarak gireceğim. Hayır, gitmeyeceğim. Ben ileriden sağ yapacağım. Az siktir.
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then, it's an adventure. Come Stanley, let's find the story.
Buradan girelim. Buradan gidelim. Ben buldum. Mu. And
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here.
Allah Allah.
Do we need to restart the game again?
Yok, başlatma bulacağım.
We'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Ya niye başlat? Ben buluyordum ki. Al, kapatırım bunu. Bunu da kapatırım. Bunu da kapat. Bunu da kapat. Bunu da kapat. Açılmıyor. Kapat.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Allah Allah. Ya açılmıyor, açılmıyor, açıldı. Açılmıyor, açık. Açılmıyor, açılmıyor. Açılmıyor, açılmıyor. Bunlar da açılmıyor.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story.
Ha,
Here it comes.
buradan gidecek yani. Tamam. Gidelim, devam.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Tamam. Edelim. Nereye geldik ya biz?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this?
Yine mi baştan
You
başlatacağım?
win!
İşte bu.
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
Yani ben kazanırım işte.
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time, I have to restart.
Ya niye yeniden başlattın ya?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable
Lan bu
adventure
kadar...
line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Buraya geçti bu. Edelim. Yani
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story?
bu beni nereye
Simply
götürün
by
ya?
the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life?
Geçemiyorum ki karşıya.
Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Allah Allah. Sen bana niye müzik verdin şimdi? Bunlar çok o tak tak tak tak. Sen beni nereye soktun ya? Hop, aralardan geçiş. Burada ne var?
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
Aşk merdiveni.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Aha geldik.
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Ya of. Tamam, hattı takip ettik zaten. Tamam, tekrar hattı takip edeyim.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Ne taraftan? Buradan. Tam gezelim. Olur.
Now, yes, This is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley,
Ya
I'm
biz
ready for it.
mal gibi yerimize döndük gibi hissettim de. Öyle de.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Hattı takip etmeyeceğim ben zaten. Ya da etsem hop, yukarı çıkamadık ki.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity.
Evet. Hangisine?
I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know
Tamam.
that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Yo, ben buna gireceğim. Ya sola girecektim ben. Neyse hadi gidelim. Allah Allah.
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all
8 kere.
determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Yapma bunu
The
zaten.
timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we?
Olacak olacak. Garipten ses. Adın neyse senin.
If you do happen to have a...
Ne oldu lan?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Sen
memo.
senin yine devreler yandı.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
Ben sağdan gireceğim.
this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Hat var burada. Evet girdik.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yo düz gideceğim.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Sen yine aynı şeyler dedin bana ama olmaz öyle. Ben buradan atlayıp buradan gitsem mi?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize
Kalksın bir aşağıda buradan koşmayı deneyeceğim buraya.
difficult, but the fact is that the story has been... Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why? I don't know how to convince you of this, but I
İşte bu
really
kadar.
do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen
Hadi.
carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Hayır, maviden geçeceğim.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red.
Maviden geçeceğim.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Maviden geçeceğim.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end it was all
Tamam,
for nothing.
tamam. Hadi
Because
gel,
this
gel.
is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Buradan gideceğim.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
3.
Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Bakalım. 1, 2, 3. Yine 3'ten.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
5.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Çalıştır bakalım.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of
Karton
course,
bebeği
the
yaksam mı
message of
acaba?
the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Git yan hadi. Şaka yaptım. Hadi yan, hadi yan.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it
What?
because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes.
Ya gizemli ses.
Seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Nereye soktun bizi ya yine?
Well, Stanley, is this any
Uh-huh.
better? At last, the one thing you've
Minecraft.
always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here. No, here. And then...
Yine sen yap bakayım evi.
What does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes.
İşte bu.
It's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy.
Aç bakalım.
You've seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable. Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come on, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Elmas madenciliği. Nere? Buradan mı gidelim? Gideyim. Bak buradan içeri girdik.
It looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Hayır. Getirmedim.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Lan ne güzel Minecraft'taydık ya. Maden yapacaktık ya. Az. Karanlık. Ne? Nereye geldik ya biz?
Yes, I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out,
Bu ne lan?
listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Al, çıktım. Ha, hani çıkamazdım, çıktım. Al giderim de. Hadi bakayım gel.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking. Your forte.
Al.
Genius.
Ne oldu lan? Dahice olduk şimdi.
Actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games. And I highly doubt you're...
Benim beynim yok. Şaka. Ben de... Gördüğüm her yerden atladım. Açık bir kapı var. Buradan gideceğim. Buradan böyle. He. Şş, güzel ses neresin ya? Allah Allah. Ses. Bak ışığı buldum. Hop kendi odamı da buldum. Tamam buradan çıkayım.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Bekleyelim. Ama çok beklemeyelim ha. Birazcık bekleyelim. Aha. Yine yüklendi lan. Yine 427'de devam.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were.
Şimdi
Just a matter of time.
buradan sağdan gireceğim ben.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just
Yok
to
hayır.
admire it.
Kırmızı kapıya gideceğim çünkü.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Hayır. Kırmızı
Stanley
kapıya
was so
gideceğim.
bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ben kırmızı kapıya gideceğim.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Atladım, bana ne? Açıktı. Şimdi de kırmızı kapıdan gideceğim.
Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
Evet, istediğimi aldım.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this
Sağ.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire
Hayır.
it.
Kırmızı kapıya gideceğim. Kırmızı
Stanley
kapıyı.
felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Hayır. Devam. Kırmızı kapı.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy.
Aşağı mı insem yine?
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be
Hayır,
difficult.
kırmızı kapı.
What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Ben
Why,
kırmızı kapıya
I don't
gideceğim.
know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Tamam, kırmızı kapıdan
Oh,
geçeceğim.
thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us?
Ben yine
I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think
yine etrafıma
I found
dönerim
a
ben.
solution. Here, let me show you.
Hangisinden gireyim? Bundan.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Işığa koş, ışığa koş. Aha.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley... No, wait. Where are you going?
Tam buraya mı gidin? Yo, ben gideceğim, bana ne? Gideceğim.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Hayır, bana ne? Merdivenlerden yukarı.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Şş, atlayayım mı? He? Atlayayım mı?
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Tamam, hadi atlamayacağım, gel. Hadi atlamayacağım, hadi. Yine iyisin, hadi. Hadi iyisin yine. Buradan gideceğim, hadi gel. Gel. Bak şimdi bak, gel. Buradan çıkacağım şimdi.
Good.
Gördün?
We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
Ben buradan atlayamam bizim buradan. Buradan atlayayım buradan. Şaka yaptım.
No! What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
Atlayacağım.
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you?
Atlayacağım. Kapıyı açmamadan atlayacağım. Bana ne? Bana ne? Bana ne? Hop!
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Biz buraya geldik de burada. Ben burayı sevmedim ki.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
Hayır.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
Ben atlayacağım. Bir daha atlayacağım. Bana ne? Bana ne? Atlayacağım.
No. What do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
Atlayacağım. Açmam bak. Kapıyı da açmam. Mal şeyler göster. Bana ne? Hop!
Stanley, let's go. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Atlayacağım.
Maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
Yine atlayacağım.
You wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Tamam hadi gel.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Gel hadi
Perhaps
gel.
he had simply missed a memo.
Son bir
When
şeyimize
Stanley
gidelim.
came to a set of two open doors,
Hadi gel,
he
hadi
entered
gel.
the door on his left.
Seni dinleyin burada hadi gel. Bir de escape'e gideyim de öyle bırakayım.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ve alt kata indim.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why
çıkış.
had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence
Nasıl
in a
ya?
single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For
İkinci
example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And
evet.
for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after
Yo
all.
belki deliyimdir. Sana
To
ne?
himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest
Hop,
question
eğil kalk,
of
eğil
all
kalk.
entered Stanley's head. one he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was
Nasıl
Stanley
değil
simply
ya?
deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him
Rüyadayız
make the
zaten.
magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Evet, her şey çok güzel olacak.
I am okay.
Evet.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Ne oluyor lan? Dönüyorduk işte öyle.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Stanley
Although
öldü.
she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Ulan insan bir elimizden tutar kaldırır. Bir de Stanley burada.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Nereden gidecek ki? Buradan.
When Stanley came to a set of two open
Tamam, gel.
doors, he entered the door.
Soldan gireceğim. O escape'ten de bir gideyim. Çünkü o escape'i de merak ettim.
Yet
Bakalım
there was
escape
not a
nereye
single
gider?
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase,
Tamam.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
Yukarıya doğru
office.
çıkalım. Patronun ofisi. Gittik.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an
28.45.
indication of any Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Rahatlatıcı New Age tarzı müzik. Açsana bak kapımı buradan. Ya müziğine başladı.
Soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Hı? Aç bana kapıyı. Buradan aşağı düşüş yok. Tamam. Buradan indir bizi aşağıya. Çabuk ol. Seri indir. Seri kardeşim. Hızlı. Ha? Aç kapıyı. Ben escape'den kaçacağım.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Hadi bakalım vahşi bir ölümler. Gel bakalım buraya. Koş koş koş koş
The
koş.
door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Hayır.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Buradan devam. Evet.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Siktir
Stanley
git.
can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted
Buradan
his
atla atla.
violent end to
Yok
his
mu bir şey?
brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Gittik.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Yok. Hayattayım. Hayattayım ki. Hayattayım ki. Öldüremedin ki. The Stanley Parable. Hop.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Devam.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now?
Dur
Do you
bakalım.
see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Ofis bilgisayarına bak. Solitaire açık. 1, 2, 3. Bakalım bunlar açılıyor mu? Hayır. Devam. Çok iyi. Credits. Buradan gidelim. The Office. Buradan gidelim bir de. Bakalım burada ne varmış. Oyunun galiba bütün sonlarını yaptım sanırım. Ofis saati. Buradan gidelim. Bu ne? Burada gezinti. Gezintideyiz burada böyle. İyi gezelim. Bir bakalım inceleyelim bir. Ha, çıkış. Çıkışa gitmeden önce buraya bir bakalım. Bakalım burada ne var. Aa. Çok değişik şeyler. Dur bakalım. Bir de bu tarafa gidelim. Yo, ben çıkışa gideyim. Exit'ta. Buradan çıkalım.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Al, kapattım.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time
Haha. Stanley'i yine öldürdüm. Evet arkadaşlar. Bir oyunumuzun da burada sonuna gelelim. İzlediğiniz için teşekkürler. Kendinize iyi bakın. Hoşça kalın. Sağlıcakla kalın. Bir sonraki serimizde ve oyunumuzda görüşmek üzere. Bay bay.